morning. Today is Sunday, February 18th, and we have some birthdays today. Today is Marilyn Perlman, P-E-A-R-L-M-A-N, Perlman. I got a little bit of a rosé. Never can say it, but you know what it is right there. But Marilyn, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marilyn. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Susan Moon's birthday, so Susan, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And finally, Susan Hall Stevens? Yeah, Stevens. Can't read my writing, Susan. Sorry about that, but it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all three of you have a great birthday today. It's beautiful out there. I should go for a walk. Should being the key word. I probably will. I'll probably go for a walk a little bit later on. We finished the puzzle yesterday. I went to dig out the puzzles that I bought for this year because I buy them like at the end of the year, last year for this year when we get done doing. They're Christmas puzzles. So the next puzzle we're going to be doing will be a Christmas puzzle because we usually do 3. And I don't want to go buy another puzzle when I already have these other puzzles. So we'll be starting on that in the next day or two. Sophia tested positive rather for COVID, and they were over on Friday night. So I woke up this morning, I had a really bad headache and just not feeling well before I heard the phone call. And I'm feeling a little off. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I just feel weird. And my head I very rarely get headaches. But, you know, with the seasons changing, I always get headaches anyhow. But anyway, so Christy called and said Sophia was sick with COVID. And, so I tested myself, and I tested negative. So thankfully, I don't have COVID. But I'll test myself again tomorrow just to make sure. But I just think I woke up with a sinus headache, probably. So went to Dan's last night, met with, which we've met before, Brooke's parents, Dave and Tammy. We had a great time. We had a really, really good time. And then we came home and watched Oppenheimer. I watched the whole thing. It was okay. I'm just glad I didn't go to the show and waste 3 hours of my time sitting in the show and wasting money to go see it. I have it on Peacock, which I don't know if I pay for. I think Danny pays for that subscription. I know as soon as they crack down on all of them, then all of my viewing will disappear because we all share things like that, which I think most people do. And I know they know that people do that. That's why they're cracking down. But I did like it better than Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh, that was like almost 3 hours of my life I'll never get back. At least with this one, it was interesting. Boring at some parts. Hard to follow at other parts. The thing that kind of confused me sometimes, which I figured out, but then it still was kind of confusing at some point for me, is when they were talking about the past, it was in color, but when they were talking about the present, it was in black and white. And in my mind, I always think that the past should be in black and white, and now in the future should be in color. But I could see why they did it in color, because like everything was like of him seeing the atoms in his brain and everything exploding, and that it wouldn't have the same effect if it was in black and white. So I understood the concept of why they did it. But it was an interesting movie, and it was just shown how that one event changed all of mankind. It really did change mankind. And I know that I am not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not the dumbest person in the world either. But I know I would not want to be so smart that I don't know. I like a challenge in my life. I really like a challenge in my life. And I think that if you're so smart and you know everything, kind of like I like to watch Young Sheldon. I could see that if I knew everything like that, I'd be obnoxious like that. It's like, because you know everything and you have I don't think that you have the ability. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not that smart. But I don't think you have the ability to be aware of other people's feelings. You just think, well, I know it, why don't you? Type of thing. But I could just see like these scientists that can do all of these things. They can put like a spaceship out into space. They can put, like the satellites out there, and just the different things that the people can do. It's just like they have the intelligence to do that. I don't have the intelligence to do that. Let me tell you that if the world was to end tomorrow, we would be stuck. I don't even know that I could make fire, to be honest with you. But just to be, if anything was to happen to the planet, I would want to be one of the ones that go. If they're going to drop a bomb, drop it on top of my house, because I don't want to be the one that's going to rebuild the world, because I wouldn't have the patience for it, and I wouldn't have the knowledge for it, and I just wouldn't have the stamina for it either, for all of that. But I just think that I just wouldn't want to have be so smart that I knew everything. I like being smart enough to know things, obviously, but no, I just, well, what do you think? I don't know. Am I making any sense? I don't know. I'm smart enough to know that I have to stop thinking that I'm on a diet. How does that go? We'll segue into something, because my theme for the week is just to be healthy, live a healthy lifestyle. Stop thinking I'm on a diet. I can tell you every day what I'm doing wrong. I can tell you every single day what I'm doing wrong. But do I look at the things that I did right? No, I focus more on the things I did wrong and beat myself up about it. And I have to stop doing that, because, if you look around, just about everybody is fighting a weight battle of some kind. Even the thin people, even if you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy. The thinnest people can be unhealthy too. So that has nothing to do with anything. Now, obviously, if you're overweight, you're not doing your body any good. You're not doing your body any services or anything like that, because you're making your joints work harder to help you move, and you're making your like all of your inner organs work harder than they need to work. So I understand that being overweight is not healthy. I know and then that's not what I'm saying either. I'm not saying that being overweight is healthier than being thin. I'm just saying that you can be overweight and still have a healthy body, but it could be healthier if you lost weight and took a little bit more time to just face the fact that this is a lifelong battle. It's just a lifelong battle. I would love to go back to the days when I was younger and when I was a kid, and I wasn't overweight. I really wasn't. And I'm the one that puts the food in my mouth. I'm not saying that. I'm the one that does that, but I really blame the food industry, because back in the day when you could only have foods that were healthy, you didn't have all this extra additive stuff put in your food. I think that's why there's so much more cancer nowadays. It's because of that. I think that people that rely on just fast food, which I've done many times in my life, is just eating fast food. I didn't do my body any good. I didn't give them any kind of advantage by doing that. And I just think that all the additives we put in food, when I was a child, the only time I got strawberries is when they were in season. And then the guy would come down, I remember he had a fruit truck that was pulled by a horse. Okay, that'll tell you how old I am. There was a guy that used to come down my street pulling a horse. And it was a paved street. I didn't live on a dirt road. I lived on a paved street in the city of Detroit. And he would come down there clomping along with his horse, and he would have a big megaphone, and he'd go, "Strawberries, 3 quarts for $1." And I always remember that. I just do. I also remember the Good Humor Man, but he came in a truck, so we very rarely got any ice cream from that. We didn't have that much money, but I always remember things like that. And we had healthier foods, and milk didn't last for like 2-3 weeks. You got milk and it lasted for a couple days. Bread, that's another thing. Bread was like, you had to eat that pretty quick. Anybody that makes their own bread can tell you that it gets to moldy pretty quick. Not pretty quick, but a lot quicker than bread that you buy at the store, because of all the added preservatives. And those things cannot be good for your body. They just can't. So I am going to focus this week on not being on a diet, but being healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, making healthy food choices, and focusing on what I'm doing right, and stop dwelling. And that's what I do. I dwell on what I'm doing wrong. So let's spend this week focusing on the good and not dwelling on the bad. And I think that we'll have a successful week if we do that. I really do. So I did put a video up today, speaking of unhealthy, with Roy, Recipes with Roy, had a collab for Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. And I did look up the recipe online. I just went on Google and typed in Google chocolate recipes, and this cookie came up. It was a Buckeye, chocolate and peanut butter. And it said it was 4 points, and I thought, this is what I'm going to make. So I did make it. I have the video up if you've seen it. It came up at 9 o'clock this morning. But the whole time I was making it, I think there's no way. There's just no way. And so I put it in my tracker. No, they're 12 points for one. It's like, my gosh. So I went back on the Google to look it up again, and Weight Watchers has removed the site. So just because, that's why I'm saying, just because somebody says it's a Weight Watcher recipe, I think unless you actually get it from the Weight Watcher site itself, I think that you should always put it in your tracker just to double check. And so I think that that was like an unhealthy food choice that I made, picking that. But you know what? Every once in a while, you got to have a little bit of chocolate in your life. You just do. What would world be without chocolate? I'm telling you. So let's spend this week focusing on the good and not dwelling on the bad. So I think we can do that this week. So in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let's talk again tomorrow.